Ladies and gentlemen, the success of my YouTube channel in a recent year pretty much lays not only on my shoulders, but everybody who helped me. And the girl sitting next to me has not just something to do with this, but quite a lot. Alexa is not only a pretty and nice and kind person, but also if you look at my channel, the 3 most popular videos that I have Alexa in them. So whether she has a good charm or looks or whatever, but I noticed that whenever Alexa participates, whether it's a show at Skyroom or it's a show at YouTube Space or any other venue, those things tend to get searched better and get more views. So thank you for that. So you bring luck. Can you talk a little bit about your modeling experience this fashion week? Like, did you do any shows? Like, how do you take now? Because you now more experience than before, and you are becoming more selective with your time. So, if the show doesn't make much sense or it's not interesting, you're not doing it. And like, how do you go about your process now?
So, I mean, I'm not signed under an agency contract-wise, but as a freelance model, I'm just trying to go for, I guess, the best shows that will give me more exposure, better networking opportunities. I didn't walk this fashion week, but
okay.
Yeah, no, I did a promotional shoot for Saks Fifth, and yeah, I mean, we'll see from there.
Okay. So I've seen quite a few models who are quite accomplished, and they reject all this free walking on the runway, and they just prefer to stay home and get some rest and do their errands and stuff rather than just putting themselves out. So I've seen a lot of new models that doing this for the first time in their life and having fun, enjoying this. But I think the industry drastically moving towards not paying the models. If in Europe it was like pay, in America it was like, okay, let's do exchange. We'll give you some clothes. We'll give you those perks. Nowadays they constantly evoking the new model, new faces. So like I was, for example, at Blitz Fashion Week. Literally, we look at maybe 200, maybe 1,000 new models came all over the country. Atlanta, like other countries, like they flew on their own. They pay for the hotel. They stay in New York and they model, and they didn't make a penny. All they get is like a couple of pictures, maybe yes, maybe no, and. I have friends who filmed those fashion weeks before, and none of them usually ever come back. And next fashion week, he will have a whole bunch of new same numbers. So he consistently kind of look for new talent, and there is always a big pool of new blood coming in. And how do you compete with all that?
Well, as a model, I am very passionate about what I do, and I understand that it does take time. So, I mean, if there are gigs or if there are shows, shoots that aren't paid, I mean, I'll take it as, this is still an opportunity regardless, even if you're not getting what you necessarily are looking for out of it. You're getting something no matter what, whether it's exposure, whether it's networking, whether it's, confidence, anything. But it depends on your perspective and, where you want to go at the end of the day.
As a perspective, do you want to have fun when you're doing this? You want to feel the thrill of a runway? You want to get some pictures, just instead of sitting home and doing nothing or paying for going somewhere, coming and everybody looking at you. Like, what are the metrics? Like, how do you decide I'm gonna go to this show, but I'm not gonna go to that show? Like, what other for me, for example, if let's say I'm not getting paid, then I'm looking, okay, are they gonna advertise me? Are they gonna promote me?
Right.
Or I'm looking, okay, is there a publication coming out after this? Is it gonna be a magazine? Is it gonna be like something else, like something intangible that I, instead of money, will get out of this? As a model, what kind of perks are you looking for?
Perks? Definitely, I definitely do it for the thrill. It's fun to me. It gives me a drive. But as far as picking which shows I would rather do over the other, you definitely weigh out the options. Which one has better opportunities for you? Which one will benefit you in the long run?
Like safety wise, like where you can be, yeah.
Things like that. So, you have to make a decision.
What goes into that decision? You talk to your friends, so you make your own judgment. Like how like I want to be kind of helpful for the audience in terms of like what can we say that it gets the some help for the like other models who are looking up to you, because you've been doing this for a while. You already kind of seen good and ugly, and maybe you have some suggestions for the new talent.
Advice for the new talent is you can't do everything by yourself. You definitely should open up your circle and ask for advice, see things that you can learn, because no matter how successful you are, you never stop learning. So just, for those who are much more experienced than you, then, just ask for advice. And
like I have, if you remember, done quite a few shows at Skyroom, and now I kind of no longer working with the Skyroom, but I'm moved to the a different platform. I'm doing a lot of fashion shows at the parades. So I did the Thanksgiving parade. I did the Halloween parade. So look, now the St. Patrick Day parade coming up. So I realized there are thousands and thousands of photographers there. There are all kind of media. There are like in St. Patrick, it's going to be 2 million people. Usually some parades have 5-6 million people just physically present there, plus millions and billions of people watching around the world. So if I have my models in the parade, even if we're standing by the barricades and we take your pictures in front of all those marching bands and cheerleaders and all the if it's a Macy's parade, big balloons, it's still kind of produce quite a bit of hold a second. Much more publicity for the models and for designers, for everybody, than just little show, like whether it's a Skyroom or any other like a smaller venue, because the audience is so much bigger. Yes, it has complexity because it's cold weather, it could be rainy, it could be a long walk, on your feet, but at the same time, when you have 10, 20 beautiful models all together and you do the runway on the during the parade, it attracts so many eyeballs, a lot of attention, all the photographers, all the filmmakers, and we had cases when our models end up in the New York Times and Wall Street Journal. So it's like when there are so many people taking pictures, and the best picture wins. So if you have a large group of beautiful ladies packed next to each other and they're having a great time and it's a parade, fun time, it's a great story for the media. And what we done is we also did a lot of product placement and brand marketing. So let's say we would write like a little kind of Instagram on the forehead, or we would write an Instagram paid, of course, like on the chest, or let's say a model would hold a beer or like a juice or water, like some kind of product placement. So that's more. It's difficult to model in a parade like in a traditional way, because we don't have all those lights and the stuff. But it's big lights comes from the big studios.
I've done a festival. It is a different experience.
No, festival parade is.
They are two different things, but that's the closest to a parade that I've done publicly. It was a lot of people. It's a different attention that you have, obviously. And
what did you do at the festival? Runway walk?
Runway, yeah.
Runway at the festival.
Yes.
So they stopped the traffic. They made a space, and
they had everything closed out, and then the audience would stand around, and they had the stage set up for all of us to walk through, and it's definitely a different pressure.
walking 50 blocks on a runway throughout Manhattan is different from like a 90 feet, like a 70 feet runway. It's a different experience because you walk through so many streets and so many people are looking. So as a model, what we did, we give up a lot of flyers, we give up a lot of business cards. So it's a lot of interviews. It's a lot of like a product, if not pushing, but I would say like shoveling it towards the audience. So at the end, designer is looking to get more views, more numbers, more sales. So I think Parades is even is it's a different platform.
Yeah.
So this summer I'm planning to do a fashion show where I've submitted for a couple of permits at the Coney Island on the beach, and and it's gonna be, I don't know if you know how to swim. So we're looking at decent weather. So we're looking at the swimwear and the dresses. So we want models to be dry first on the beach, like walk along the shore, and then we want models also to be wet in the water and just have you swim. So we have both looks on the garment when it's dry and when it's wet. So I think that would be interesting. Possibility, and we also start doing the shows at the non-traditional runway positions. Like I don't know if you went for the when it was Brooklyn Fashion Week, we did a show on the staircases. Have you done that one?
The
Library.
No, I wasn't a part of that one, but I was.
Did you saw that show?
I have. I was actually part of one of the designers at another location.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, but I guess they did the show prior to when I was casted for.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, the designer is Annie Couture.
Hold a second. We have a designer. We are here in the studio, so just come out. I'm finishing the interview, and I'll see you in a second. I'm literally filming at the moment. Let me call you back once I'm done with this segment. And that's one of the designers that are coming for the show. So hopefully, now that you see Alexi, no makeup, no hair, like regular as a human, and in the next segment, hopefully you'll see her with a beautiful jewelry and a nice beauty look. So now let's remind the audience, what is your Instagram? If they want to hire Alexa, let's tell them where they can find you, and we will look for the designer somewhere in the building.
So if you guys want to follow my Instagram, which is pdf, like the file, .ag. My Facebook is my name, Alexi Gione, ALEXI GIONNE.
Got